Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be doing some more shorter-term technical analysis on Bitcoin because, as you probably saw overnight, Bitcoin has now once again rallied up to around $11,850. What that means is that if we close this candlestick up here, the candle body is going to be closing higher than any candle body on the daily chart and on the weekly chart that we have seen in a very, very long time. In fact, if you look at the monthly chart on Bitcoin, if August closes anywhere above $11,500, Bitcoin is going to be closing the second highest green candlestick in the history of Bitcoin, only barring the 2017 bull run. Guys, big things are happening on Bitcoin. I want to bring you some important developments that have happened overnight and get you caught up to speed on that, but that's not why I call this the most important video that you'll see all year in Bitcoin. The reason I'm calling it that is because of what we'll be talking about after the technical analysis today. We have some very important things we have to dive into today, so guys, we're not going to waste much time. Before we get started, I do want to mention the sponsor of this entire channel, which is the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. This is where I put all of the knowledge that I have learned in the cryptocurrency markets over the last 3 years that I've been working in this space every single day. There are 900 videos on this channel. I've been working in the market over 3 years, and everything I know, I pour into the academy for our students. If you're interested in learning more about technical analysis so you can take your analysis, your trading, and therefore your profitability to the next level, I highly encourage you checking us out at the link in the description down below. Use the coupon code BULLRUN2020 for $40 off at checkout. More on that at the end of the video. But for now, though, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. That was a good one. I gotta get my snap game on point, so it's like, that sucked. Wow, come on. Let's try this again. Oh, hey, I forgot I was recording for a second. Guys, before we get into the video, I do want to mention one thing, and that is that we're going to be passing 50,000 subscribers a day. We have been running this channel for over 2.5 years now. First video went up November 16th, 2017. Gosh, that feels like yesterday, but good Lord, does it also feel like a long time ago. Thank you guys so much. We're going to be hitting that today, and I'm so pumped. The next 50 are going to come quick. We're heading for 100K in the next 9 months or so is the plan. Guys, we're going to have a lot of fun in this video, and we're going to have a lot of fun moving on into the future. I'm hoping you guys are excited, so let's go ahead and jump on to the chart. Guys, let's start with the 30,000-foot view of what Bitcoin is doing right now. As you can see, this monthly chart candlestick has opened above any other candlestick open in the history of Bitcoin. What do I mean by that? Well, we drag this blue line right here to the perfect open of this monthly candlestick, around $11,200. You can see that this candlestick does not count because we closed below it. This candlestick opened below that line, which means that this monthly chart candlestick, no matter what happens, so long as it is green, is actually making history for Bitcoin. We've never seen the open of a green candlestick this high. Now, of course, we're early on in the month, and we want to make sure that we actually, close green and not red, but this is very good news. If Bitcoin even closes $5 in the green, we have just made history on Bitcoin. And this is something that echoes in the couple of intervals below us. Down on the weekly chart, as you can see, we're having a very strong three white soldiers pattern. All of these are about the exact same length. All three of them have no lower shadow, which is exactly what you want to see. And as we can also see, right now, we move this blue line that we had a second ago up to the top of this green candlestick on the weekly chart. We've never seen a green candlestick close this high on candle bodies. The last three that even came close were this one and these two right there, and they didn't reach where we are. What that means is that in the entire history of Bitcoin, we've only had 1, 2, 3 green candlesticks close higher than the one we're closing right now. The point I'm trying to make with this is not, oh, look at this random interval technical that you might or might not care about. The reason I'm pointing this out is because I want to bring your attention to the fact that even though Bitcoin is still 40% or so away from all-time high, as far as the amount of trading that we've done since all-time high, Bitcoin is like 95% of the way there. What do I mean by that? Well, we can see what I'm talking about through the VPVR. Take a look at how much VPVR price action there is down below us. Look at all of this trading volume. But now, look at where we are and look at what's above us. We have blasted through all of the resistance, guys. It's gone. Bitcoin has gotten through all of it. Bitcoin is now above everything except the very top of the previous bull market. A lot of people are saying that Bitcoin's going to $20,000, and some other people are wondering, wait a minute, why is Bitcoin going to $20,000? This is why Bitcoin's going to $20,000. The fundamentals and the technicals have finally come into alignment because in past we've seen technicals call a bull market, but the fundamentals weren't ready, or the fundamentals called a bull market, but the technicals weren't ready. In this case, the technical landscape is calling for a bull market, and the fundamentals are not only permitting a bull market, they are in fact encouraging a bull market. Remember all that good news we have with the controller of the currency? And Visa and MasterCard and PayPal and all of that stuff that we had happen a few weeks ago, that's still having an impact. Take into account also that something like gold just hit an all-time high. Yeah, seriously, in case you guys didn't see that, gold just hit a historic high. Gold has never traded at $193 a share or $2,000 an ounce or whatever. What happens during recessions? Remember, people move out of what they perceive to be risky, which is the stock market, because it's associated with the financial system and the banking system, and they move it into something they consider safer, like gold. What is Bitcoin called? It's called digital gold. Why is it called digital gold? Because it has scarcity and it is unable to be controlled by institutions, which in this case, this recession that we're going through was not necessarily a cause of screw up at the governmental and mega corporation level. It was a mess up as far as, stuff happens. But no matter what, when a recession happens, things like commodities, specifically things like precious metals, and in this case, because Bitcoin has advanced enough, things like Bitcoin are going to do very well. So what that means is that we've had the technicals come in, we've had the fundamentals come in, and because we're in a recession and people are moving into gold, they're also saying, hey, wait a minute. What else can we move into that's a hedge against traditional markets? Because most people are thinking, wait a second, are we not in the middle of a global pandemic? What is the SPY doing up here near all-time high? That makes no sense. By the way, I can get into that. The reason that the S&P 500 and the DJI and all these other major indices are doing so well is because Fortune 500 companies are doing fine right now, barring some industry like hospitality and transportation. The reason they're doing relatively well is because they're sitting on so much reserves. Apple, for example, has $250 billion in cash savings. But a lot of the smaller companies are getting hit, which is why it's not reflecting in the stock market, because the stock market is majorly driven by those big companies, which are doing okay, even though the economy's suffering. Complete sidetrack, but you get my point. What I'm trying to say here is that the technicals and the fundamentals have lined up to allow a bull market, which was already enough. But now the geopolitical landscape and the global financial system is allowing and in fact encouraging investment in hedge commodities such as Bitcoin and gold, which is why Bitcoin's doing so well. All of that to lay a foundation for what's going on here on the daily chart. As you guys can see, Bitcoin was in this kind of strange-looking consolidation pattern that we talked about a few days ago, and in fact, as we predicted, it did break to the upside. On the daily chart, you can see that we're setting a new high on candle body up here around $11,800. We closed with candle wicks up here, but now we're setting a candle body up there, which, if you're looking at candle bodies, means that we're setting a new high. If you're looking at wicks, we're still not there yet. But remember, guys, we're actually at the moment breaking into this zone of resistance, one that we've discussed in previous videos. This zone of resistance, $13,000, and then $20,000 are the last major resistance levels that we need to be looking at. So yes, Bitcoin is going to have a little bit of a hard time getting through 11.7 to 12.1. But guess what? I'm making a call here. It is going to happen, and it's going to happen within the next 4 days. That is my prediction. Bitcoin will break the zone of resistance between 11.7 and 12.1 within 4 days. That should be before August the 10th. That's my prediction, and in fact, there's a good likelihood that it'll happen even quicker than that. But guys, that leads me into the point of this video and why I call this the most important video that you'll see on Bitcoin this entire year. And that's because what I just said with so much certainty, with the influence I have now, is going to incite FOMO in thousands of the people that watch this video. And I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of FOMO in the market, and I believe as one of the medium-sized influencers now that I have a responsibility to make sure you guys are being safe. The reason that I call this the most important video is because I'm talking about risk management. Guys, during bull markets, people tend to kind of just go ham and throw everything they have at the market, and they invest way too much. So I want to remind you really quickly what happened at the end of $20,000 bull run when Bitcoin hit that back in December of 2017. I could go through a list of 20 different things that happened and all kinds of sad events that happened, but I'll just go straight to the top. When Bitcoin hit 20K and then pulled back 60, 70, 80% in the next 90 days, people offed themselves. So I can say that, and then you can extrapolate everything that happened that wasn't quite that severe, because that's literally the worst thing that could happen. And I go there to make a point and to make a striking point and make sure you guys understand the severity of this. Bitcoin is in a bull market, but oftentimes what you have to understand is that people don't lose their life savings in bear markets. They lose them in the transition from a bull market to a bear market. And the fact of the matter is, the transition from a bull market to a bear market can happen at any time based on any news story. What I'm saying is that I'm pretty certain that Bitcoin's about to break out. Great. That's all fine and dandy. I'm a human and I'm wrong from time to time in the same way that everyone is. What happens if you go into 100x leverage, you sold your car, you sold your house, and you put all your money on 100x leverage for a $3,000 breakout, thinking this is it, I'm gonna make 200 grand, gonna invest in the stock market, retire on 7%. Like that, what happens if you do that? Because that happens more than you might think if you're not the kind of person that's inclined to do that. You have no idea how many people I see in the comment section. Most of you are joking, but some of you are serious about saying, oh, I'm going to sell my house. Oh, I'm going to sell my boat. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to dip into my child's college fund. I'm going to dip into our life savings. And they go all in on an investment. But look, the thing is, unless you are a proficient trader, a massive investment in Bitcoin is probably not going to change your life. A double in your money is not enough to change your life if you're in financial hardship. When I had $1,000 in my pocket, doubling that to $2,000 was not enough to change my life. When I had $10,000, doubling that to $20,000 was not enough to change my life. When I had $100,000, doubling that to make $200,000 was not enough to change my life. Working with doubles is great, and you want to double your money, but you need to do it more than once. So the point I'm making here is that for Bitcoin to go back to $20,000 is roughly a double. It's about an 80% gain. I do think that's going to happen. And in fact, I'm starting to understand why people are saying it might happen this year. And while I still don't necessarily side with that camp, I definitely understand the argument. But the simple fact of the matter is that many people in these markets, when Bitcoin is exploding, they get all in. And then one thing happens and they get wrecked. Let's say Bitcoin is banned in India, or again, let's say Bitcoin is banned in China, again, let's say Bitcoin is banned in Russia, again, because these people like to do this more than once. Let's say Bitcoin is deemed to be a method for money laundering and is banned in the European Union. Let's say something bad happens. I'm just giving you an example. Bitcoin drops 20%. It recovers, keeps going up, that's fine, but now you're out. You're out of the game. You got put out of the game because you were sitting in a 5x leverage trade and you weren't ready with the stop loss. Guys, I want to make sure that you understand, and this means so much to me because I care deeply about you guys. And a lot of people on YouTube, I'm going to be honest, I'm not calling any of my colleagues on YouTube out, but a lot of people on YouTube here, they're here simply to make money. And the reason is because cryptocurrency YouTubers make a lot of money. I am not content just to make a ton of money and not care about my subscribers. I don't want you guys getting hurt. I've read so many emails of people saying either cryptocurrency saved my life from the hardship I was going through, or I get the exact opposite of that, which is cryptocurrency brought me from having a good life to having a bad life. And no one talks about that because it doesn't get clicks. That's why I clickbaited you, because I want you to listen to what I'm saying, and you wouldn't have if I just said risk management in the title. So I'm not ashamed of clickbaiting you in this title, because even if even if you think you're so good that you don't need to hear this because you're fine, you're dandy, and you're not ever going to get wrecked because you're so perfect, even if your pride is blinding you to what I'm saying, someone is going to watch this video and they're going to take a second thought when they make a 100x leverage trade with $10,000 and they only have $12,000 to their name. Someone is going to watch this video and they're going to say, wait a minute, Bitcoin could be life-changing, but instead of investing my money, let me invest my time in educating myself on technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and wisdom and mindset around markets so that I don't get wrecked. Someone is going to watch this video and they're going to be careful, which is good. It's a good thing to be careful. Because at the end of the day, guys, the amount of money that you make in cryptocurrency is proportional to your knowledge and your experience in the space, and that is exponential. You understand what I'm saying? When you're just making money trade after trade after trade after trade, you're going to make money. You're going to make money. It's going to go like that. It's going to be linear. But when you're working on yourself and you're making sure you're implementing risk management, like I'm saying, it's going to stop you from going boom and then dead. It's going to actually, in fact, make you go exponential. Because you know what happens? You're continually improving yourself, and the money you make increases time after time after time. You're not making $1,000 on a trade. You're making $1,000 on a trade. Then you're making $1,500. Then you're making $2,300. Then you're making $14,000. Then you're making $28,000. I'm using numbers that might not be applicable to your situation, or they might be. I don't know. The point is here, guys. Number one, make sure you are taking risk management very, very, very seriously. And if you're tired of me saying this, tough. Go somewhere else, because I'm going to talk about this probably at least once a week during this bull market, because no one else is, and you need to hear it. If I have to be that guy, I will, because I don't really see anyone else doing it, quite frankly. But number two, other than risk management, which honestly should be your number one, because, you know, if you're not in the game, you can't make gains if you're not in the game. Does that make sense? For example, I'll use a gym analogy. Let's say that you're in the gym, right? I would rather use 20 pounds less on squats or deadlifts or bench or whatever and make sure I'm using it perfect form and then go up with perfect form rather than try to use an extra 20 pounds and have bad form. In the same way in technical analysis, I would rather you make less money but be making money the right way and then grow the right way, and you're still going to get to the top. It's actually not going to take any longer. It's actually going to take less time, but it means that you're taking your ego out of it. So that's number one. Make sure you're focusing on risk management. In the same way in the gym, you want to make sure you're focusing on form. In cryptocurrency, you want to make sure you're focusing on your trading form and your risk management, and then after you've mastered that, continue scaling, because it'll happen a lot faster than you think it will, so long as you're actually focusing on your risk management. Number two, make sure you're investing in your education in the space. You do these two things. Make sure, number one, that your form is perfect, as good as it possibly can be, and then after that, make sure that you're learning as much as you possibly can. Every trade, think, what can I learn from this trade? Why did this trade go bad? What technical did I not see? Why was Bitcoin overextended? Why did I not get a good deal? Why did I exit too late? What happened? Do that with your trades. Make sure you're learning. Continue learning. Remember what we talked about in yesterday's video. What's your why? Why are you so hungry? Why are you having a burning passion for this? Why does this have to happen for you? Make sure your form is perfect. Perfect. You're never going to be perfect. Don't be a perfectionist, but aim in that direction anyway. And then focus on your education, and the rest is history, guys. Technical analysis is the tool, but if you don't know how to use the tool, it's useless. With the gym analogy, for example, how good of a gym you have is technical analysis. How good you are at technical analysis is the quality of the equipment you're using. So obviously, you want to be using the best quality equipment if you're working out so you don't hurt yourself or anything like that, and so you're able to hit all your muscles, right? Technical and fundamental analysis, understanding that, is the quality of the equipment you're using. But your risk management and your understanding of the importance of education is your ability to do the exercises correctly and understand the process of setting goals and correcting yourself and learning, etc. So I think I've made my point, but I want to make sure you guys are being careful, because like I said, if you take anything away from this video, take this away from this video. More people go broke in bull markets than they do in bear markets. And the reason for that is simple. It's because they forget their risk management. It's because they forget that they're not perfect. So keep your ego in check, leave your pride at the door, and you'll do just fine. That's my spiel. Hopefully you enjoyed. Not going to lie, a lot of you probably didn't. Most of you probably clicked off this video. Most of you are going to listen to this video and say, yeah, I'm going to get fired up. I'm going to think about risk management. It's going to go in one ear and out the other, and you're going to forget about this in 20 minutes. But 5% of the people that watch this video hear what I just said, and they're going to take it to heart, and they're going to incorporate it in their trading, and they're going to be much better for it. So ask yourself the question, are you part of the 95% that are going to hear this and walk away, or are you part of the 5% who are going to actually make sure that they're doing what I just said and be successful because of it? It's really that simple. It goes back to your hunger and your why and your passion and what you're in this for. So cheers to the 5%, 95%. Thanks for the views. I appreciate you guys. I'm not bashing you, but, you know, it's just how it is. Anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it out for this video. Before we go, I do want to mention what makes this channel and all of the expansion that we're doing possible. And that would, of course, be the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Guys, CT2A is the course that I have designed with my 3 years of experience of working in this market every single day. I have poured out the knowledge that I have about this space into this course. I haven't held anything back. When you join CT2A, you're going to be joining an exclusive community of 2,100 students that we just passed yesterday that are in this academy, that are learning every single day, that are working on their craft, they are improving their understanding, they're working on their knowledge, they're becoming more profitable, and they're working towards that dream that they have of however much money you want to make into crypto. Guys, at the end of the day, what I talked about earlier, I didn't actually say this to lead into a sales pitch, but it kind of ties in with what CT2A is about, because that was the entire goal of this channel, is to teach you guys markets so that you understand how to actually be profitable in them. CT2A is where you go to do that. Look, guys, at the end of the day, the goal of this channel does not say help people through CT2A. It says help people, period. So if you go somewhere else and there's some other way for you to go and learn technical analysis, you go right ahead and do that. Tell me about our competitors and we'll beat them, but at the moment, we are beating them. So if you want to learn technical analysis, CT2A is the best place to do it. By the way, we have a full 14-day money-back refund guarantee. Yes, we do accept Bitcoin payments. You can email us in the comments section, in the description down below, our email's down there, and we'll get back to you and do a Bitcoin payment for you. And there's no subscription. This is CT2A is a one-time payment. You get all current, all future content, which there are about 10 videos coming out to CT2A over the next couple of months. You're going to get access to everything that's currently here and everything that's coming also. It's a lifetime membership. It's not a yearly thing. You join once, you're in, period. Full stop. Guys, if you want to invest in your education, good. You need to, because as we said, that's very important. CT2A is where you can do that. So if you want to help to support this channel and all of the awesome expansion we have going on, in about 3 weeks, we're going to be in our office. Oh, man, that's going to be crazy. By the way, like I said, we're passing 50K subs today. Guys, thank you so much. I just cannot... Man, I can't even imagine. That's a lot of... Okay, I live in... About to dox myself. I live close to UF. UF is a university. Go Gators. There's about 50,000 people enrolled in UF, and I'm like, whoa. That's a lot of people. I remember when we had like 20 subscribers. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Guys, thank you for 50K subs. If you want to invest in your education, CT2A is the best place to do it. Links in the description down below. If you have any questions, put them in the comments or email us. Guys, that is going to wrap it out for this video. Remember, don't get burned. That's really the whole point of this video is don't get burned. You know, it's like you got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to run. You got to know when to walk away. Philosopher Kenny Rogers once said that. May he rest in peace. But anyway, guys, like I said, that is going to do it for this video. Before we go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys